Okay, hey, thank you for being here with us.
We're live.
We are live again. And if you're listening to this on podcast, thank you so much. If you're watching us live, we're happy you're here. We are talking to you if you are in Washington and you are about to reload to the South Carolina, Charleston area, or I should say Charleston, South Carolina area. In case you haven't heard, Boeing is moving here. 1,000 jobs.
Yeah.
1,000 jobs.
And it's not like it might happen.
It's going on.
Oh, it's happening.
It's happening. We have some great stories to share with you. So stick around for that. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
So here's the situation. They broke ground on $1 billion expansion in North Charleston.
Yeah.
Which we're in Somerville. So it's about 25, 30 minutes away.
Spitting distance.
And like she said, over 1,000 jobs coming in, about 300 engineers and technical professionals relocating from Washington State.
Yeah.
And, that's
mom, dad.
That's
dad, mom,
engineers with spouses and kids and maybe
Nana,
aged parents that are going to be babysitters. And there's not a lot of time to figure out how this is all going to roll.
Yeah. We're here to help though. And we're not here to just be like, what's it like? Does it suck? Because it doesn't, because we have recently done it from California. We relocated here from California. It was just a couple years ago. And so we understand all that you are Googling in the midnight hours. We understand all of your concerns. And we may not have, gotten a gig with Boeing, but we know what it's like to be like, what's it like over there?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Yeah.
So in case you are new here, I am Angel. This is Dan. We are the Gen X team with eXp Realty. We are realtors here in the Somerville, Charleston. Here's some intel for you. Here's some local, what they call it, the Tri-County area. So Charleston, Dorchester, and Berkeley County. Those are our counties. So there's some local jargon for you. The Tri-County area. We are local realtors here in the Tri-County area. And we're willing to walk you through this and just give you the step-by-step of like what to expect, what to keep Googling, and where you can reach out to us and get some real straight answers. By the way, if I haven't mentioned it before, we have a VIP call, which the link is in the description below, where you can book time with us, where we will find out your story. We had one a couple days ago with some clients that he's got 2 or 3 different positions he's applying for. He's waiting to hear back on one, and he's, they got a new baby. There's just a lot going on. And so we're kind of all on standby until he knows which green light he's given. So obviously we're not going to do that on anything but a personal one-to-one call. So please feel free to book that with us so that we can get your information. Are you selling to move here? Are you a veteran? Are we going to use the VA loan? All of that.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new here. We bring this kind of content to the channel week after week. And it's because we keep hearing the same stories over and over, right, Dan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, that was my line.
Sorry, no, that's fine.
You're probably asking, like we were talking about, what you're Googling, right? What's it going to look like for my family? What's it going to look like for travel? What's it going to look like for like our lifestyle? And we can tell you that, you might get some pushback from the kids. That's normal. We moved a kid. It's very normal.
Yeah.
And
well, and you got to keep in mind, like we're at a model home, and this family comes in, and they're same situation, looking to move with Boeing, and the teenage daughter, she had a look on her face of dread, like, I can't believe this is happening to me.
Just like almost like, your eyes get all welly, like you're like, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. She was just walking around the model house like that. Like, oh my gosh, it's really happening.
Yeah. I'm going to lose all my friends.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to my same school.
Yeah.
I'm not going to graduate with other classmates. People are going to beat me up. Who knows?
Wonder why I don't have a tan.
Yeah.
Poor thing. She was, and then her little brother was just kind of like, yeah, he was whatever. He was.
Yeah.
Anyway, so just to give you some real talk here, like we ran into a couple at, we were out having lunch after some other client information that we were working on. And they were like, do you live here? And like, I didn't have my name tag on. I wasn't trying to be a realtor out at lunch, but of course that's our.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. So they were asking like, what is it like? Because they were considering, do we rent? Do we buy? And that might be you. You might be going, how is that going to work there? Should we rent first? And just like we told that other couple, they were like, what did they say the rent was, babe? It was,
oh my gosh. They were looking at rental properties that were like $3,000 a month. And we're sitting there going,
good gravy.
You could have a house for that. And he's got about a 2-year commitment.
Yeah.
So at that point, you got to make the decision. I mean, does it make sense to rent a place and then have to have a storage for all your stuff?
Yeah.
And you're paying that kind of money
dogs
to live there?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want a house where you can have all your stuff with you, have a fenced yard?
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Yeah. And those are because they were saying, well, what about this community? What about that neighborhood? And we were like, yeah, because that actually does play into a lot of it, because as we are here to teach you or share with you that you're not just moving for like a new life, for Boeing, a new job. You're going into a whole different lifestyle here.
Yeah.
The weather here we talk about a lot, but like you are going to be having those beautiful summer months in Washington. You're going to have those
almost all year round.
Yeah, we only have it's almost reversed. We only have like 2 or 3 months where we're like,
yeah, you'll get a taste of, ooh, I need a jacket, but a lot of your clothes you're going to have to just store away because you won't need them.
It's the reverse. You have really only a few months where you're inside more than you're outside. But even that, babe, aren't we outside more than we are?
Yeah.
So you're going to be asking those kinds of questions, which is where we absolutely can be honest with you about, whether it's, that kind of thing. But as far as your neighborhoods that you might be looking at, you're going to really need to figure out what you want your lifestyle to be.
Yeah. Like, do you have small children? Because there's communities that have schools that have been there for a long time, and then they're actually building additional schools because there's so much growth in the area.
Yeah.
Or are you, a newly married couple where it's like, I want that nightlife. I want to know where to live, where I can have fun on the weekends. Or maybe you're someone that likes to travel, and it's like, well, get me as close to the airport so we can go jet off to New York City or Tennessee or Florida or wherever we want to go to enjoy our time,
Yeah. And all of that is possible. Like, we're not trying to add to your list of overwhelm. We're trying to give you comfort to know that, okay, it really is far and wide there, in the sense of like, we're still going to have a lot of the same things that we do, in the sense of being outside, doing water sports, having friends in a church and a community, and, maybe your kid plays ice hockey and your other kid plays soccer. Like, yes, all of that happens here. So we really are going to be having the conversation with you about what is important for your family. Are you, looking for something where the community hosts it all, like that young couple? She was getting ready to be a stay-at-home mom because of the relocation. And they, she's like, how do you feel about like Carnes Crossroads? So we were talking to her about Carnes, and we were like, the stroller strides and the walking paths and the place for the dogs and the
water slide,
the gym and the baby pool and the big kid pool, all of that. You're going to meet people at all of your life demographic, right?
And one of the nice things about the growth here is that a lot of folks that you're going to run into didn't start here. They're not native to South Carolina. So they're going through the same things that you are. It's like, we're trying to find community. We're trying to find friends. We're trying to find a church. We're trying to find whatever.
Yeah. And so the thing to keep in mind, back to that conversation that we had with the young couple, is, when you are looking at the neighborhood, yes, we have a lot of new construction, as you probably have seen on many of the other videos that we've done. We've done Carnes Crossroads, we've done Nexton, we've done Cane Bay. All of these are the big dogs, right? As far as like where to move, who will be there, what will it provide for us. But also there's other things. Like our clients they have a motor home, and so they might need to bump out a little bit, but they have a little. So, if you're one of those people that is, relocating here with Boeing, and you're like, but I don't want to live in a planned community, and I want to bring my motorhome, and I
need land.
Yeah, I need land. This is my chance to get land. Yeah. Because where they're at there's no land. So all of that is possible, which is what we want to encourage you to, like, not only reach out to us, but also to just know that you don't have to turn the heat up, just like, we got to hurry up and find something, because the market is, real far and wide, right, babe?
Yeah, there's a lot of options. And aside from the housing, which this is where we come in, a lot of you might be saying to yourselves, well, I'm coming from Washington, and, I love where I live. I picked this place on purpose. I love the mountains. I love hiking. I love the seasons. And, I don't want to, I feel like I'm giving that up. To a certain extent you are. However,
yeah, kind of.
You're just trading it for something different.
Right.
Where here it's going to be a situation where it's like, hey, we can go fishing, we can go kayaking, we can go boating.
Yeah.
If you live in a master plan community, they've got trails that you can golf cart or ride bikes or just walk.
Yeah. And then let's not forget is Charleston. Like, we have the Charleston River Dogs. So if you want to, are they minor league or AAA? There's a AAA baseball team. We've got the Stingrays. So that's ice hockey. Like, and then of course, Charleston, if you're a foodie, go nuts. If you like seafood, go nuts. Mount Pleasant, Kiowa, Johns Island, James Island. I mean, there's no shortage of, like, I'm giving air quotes for those listening on the podcast, no shortage of things to do. Right. You just need to figure out, like, what you want to do here, and how you want it to look on the day to day. Because back to the housing, we keep going back to that because that's our wheelhouse, obviously. But, like, if you live on one of those islands, obviously Boeing is near the airport. So if you live on one of the islands, or if you live in Mount Pleasant, you're going to be going opposite of traffic. Thing to keep in mind is if you're going to be living in Carnes Crossroads or, Cane Bay or Nexted, you're going to be going with traffic to and from work.
Yep.
I don't know if they've got 410s or 5/8, whatever their shifts are, but you're going to be with the thick of it. So if you're used to commuting and that doesn't rub you the wrong way, okay, go for it. Let's go nuts in Somerville, Cane Bay, next in Carnes Crossroads. If you are like, this is my opportunity, I can buy a really, really nice home on the water and kids can fish off the boat dock and whatever, you will be going opposite of traffic. Praise the Lord.
You'll be looking at Mount Pleasant or Folly Beach.
Yes. Any of the islands would be going opposite. I mean, you'd have to get through Charleston, which is kind of clunky sometimes, but for the most part, you're going to be going opposite. And again, we are here for you. So again, we don't mean to keep, like, beating it to death, but, like, we wanted to reach out and talk to you Boeing people, because we know they've got the reload companies. Obviously, we're in real estate. We know how that works, but some of y'all don't have the opportunity to work with one of those relocation realtors. We're here. We're here for you.
I volunteer.
And we're Gen X, so we don't do a lot of fluff. We don't do a lot of extra words. We just
we work hard. We're not.
We're the generation that figures it out.
Yeah, we were left to our own devices, so we had to figure it out and make it work. So.
And by the way, if you are watching from anywhere, please tell us where you're watching from. Are you watching from Snohomish? Ooh. We like saying Snohomish.
Yeah.
But that's the county where Everett, or where the Boeing plant is. But if you're watching from anywhere else, please let us know in the comments. Give us a triple X, because we are Gen X. Not because we're trying to be, remember those XXX, 1-900 number. No, it ain't that. But if you want to let us know where you're watching from, any questions that you may or may not have about, like, what do you think of Somerville? Do XXX first, and then we can find it on the live now or on the replay so that we can answer your question. Okay. Since we are Gen X.
Are we doing it?
Who's wrong one? Yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry. There we go. For crying out loud.
She'll get it. Hey, there it is.
Gen X fun fact. If you are new here and you have not liked or subscribed, then you don't know what we do every video. I will tell you. Dan brings a fun fact from back in the day, pop culture, movie quote, a toy that we all loved, a movie show that we watched, whatever. It tries to stump me. Last week, what was it? Toyota Corolla, the most car that we all drove, the car that most of us drove back in 84. So every week, and I try and get it every week. So, okay, Dan, bring me the Gen X fun fact.
Because we're talking about Boeing.
Top Gun. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what the question is.
What is?
That's where my brain goes.
What is the highest grossing movie?
It's not Top Gun.
That takes place mostly in an airplane.
In an airplane. Top Gun. Well, Top Gun. I keep going Top Gun.
They're on an aircraft carrier. They're on a motorcycle.
You'll be flying.
He's playing volleyball.
Yes, I know.
Don't get started with it.
I'm very familiar with that scene. You'll be flying a cargo. Okay. Highest grossing. Can I have a year?
No.
All right. It was Snakes on a Plane? No. That's from 2000 something or other. I don't know.
You got this.
Ask it to me again.
The highest grossing movie where the majority of the movie takes place on an airplane.
Now I'm stuck on Snakes on a Plane. Okay, it's the 80s though. Harrison Ford. Air Force One.
You are correct.
Yeah, Harrison Ford.
1997, baby.
97?
Yep.
For crying out loud.
Made like 300 and
he could read the
over 300 million on that movie. I think it was Gary Oldman was the bad guy.
He's really good.
But yeah.
All right.
He is
Gen X fun fact. I got it. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. And it wasn't Top Gun.
No. And we're not talking about the volleyball thing again. Okay. So now we're talking about your money, right? Okay. So here's the cool thing about moving from Washington to South Carolina.
Do tell, Dan.
Is it seems like your money has increased in value. So for the same amount of money that you're selling your house for, you can have more house, more land, and more choices.
Yes. And more people. Like, because again, we're thinking of the kids. You're bringing them.
More community. Yeah.
They're going to be like, nobody wants to play with me.
Oh, there's lots of people around here.
Yeah. No, and the lifestyle is going to determine where you live. I will say that over and over and over again, because it's wherever you are with your kid group. Are they teens? Are they littles, middles, and bigs? Are they just middles and bigs? You're going to be doing different things. Now, let me talk to my mamas out there. Sorry. Is it my turn to talk about do I get to talk to the moms yet, Dan?
I don't know. Are we talking about schools still or something else?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay.
Schools. It's kind of my deal.
So you definitely have more flexibility in the state of South Carolina, whether you want to do homeschooling, whether you want to do traditional 5-day-a-week schooling, private school. They really support and encourage whatever it is you want to do. And that's one of the things that we grabbed onto with both hands with our teenage son.
Because California and Washington are cousins when it comes to like how dumb could they make it for you to put your kid into school? What hoops do you have to jump through?
Yeah.
So do I get to talk about my stuff now?
Please,
okay.
Yes.
So to my moms out there that are coming from Washington and moving here. Back in the day, they called it being granola. Then they moved to crunchy. Now it's maha. Some of us just call it being like a parent, whatever you want to call it. South Carolina gives you so much freedom for how you want to parent your kid. Do you want to give them every vaccine under the sun? Okay. If you don't want to give them every vaccine under the sun, the granolas, raise your hand if you're one of those, maha, whatever. South Carolina could care less. The pediatricians could care less. They're not here to make it harder for you. They're here to say, oh, are you the mom? Oh, are you the dad? Yeah. Okay, whatever you say.
And even us as adults, they're very friendly with what you think you need.
Yes.
Like instead of like, well, we don't think that's necessary. It's, for the folks that do their research and know how their body functions, the doctors are very accommodating.
Yes.
With
yes.
your treatment plan.
1000%. So like one of the other things, so back to if you've got bigs or they're about to be big and driving. So speaking of the similarities between California and Washington, in California, when you have a kid that goes to get a job while they're in high school, you have to get a work permit. So when our son got his job here, we took it to the school and they were like, or we said, oh, we need a work permit. And they're like, what for? And we said, well, our son got a job. And they were like, well, good for him. And we were like,
he was 16.
Yeah. And we were like, well, don't you want to know? Like, I don't even know why the schools need to know for a work permit other than, I don't know, probably limited hours or whatever. But obviously he's a minor, so he's not going to be able to work 40 hours anyway. But like, they were like, well, good for him. Like they didn't need any information about why, when, or how he was going to be working when he wasn't in school. It was just like, we're the parents. We decided, here's how it goes. And they could have cared. There is no work permit. There is nothing for you to take in and go, here, my kid got a job and here's his, here's where he worked. They don't care.
Yeah.
You are the parent. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? Raise your hand if you think that's lovely. And it's coming from states like Washington and California, where they want to micromanage how you raise your kid or school your kid. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. All right, I'll get off my soapbox.
All right, let's get back to the nitty gritty. Now, the next thing, if you're from Washington, you're like, I don't know anything about the area. Like, I don't even know.
You're just Googling.
There's a map. I can see Boeing on the map.
Right. Airport.
So, for example, you've got North Charleston, which is the closest city to where you would be working.
Right.
So, kind of a mixed area between residential and business.
They're trying. So, they're really trying in North Charleston.
You have to, if you want to go do Google Street View and kind of check out the neighborhood around a house you're interested in. Then you got Somerville, which is about 20 to 30 minutes from that area. And it's very much a master plan community. Most of the communities have HOAs. With that, though, they have amenities like you have pools and
activities, lifestyle directors. Mm-hmm. They plan your mahjong group or your, paint by numbers or bingo or swim lessons,
Yeah. And then you've got like a middle ground, which would be like Goose Creek, Hanahan, Ladson. And then, like where Somerville is, that's considered Berkeley County. So it's a little bit of a slower pace than being in like downtown Charleston. And you've got water access. There's a lot of lakes and waterways. And
it's called the Lowcountry, right? Mm-hmm. Lowcountry. And there's water everywhere.
Yeah.
Ponds, streams, beaches, rivers, water everywhere. And then it rains. Oh, by the way, something to keep in mind, which we had experience from California as well. In Washington, it rains more than it doesn't. And it's cold, usually. Here it rains. It ain't cold. Nobody cares, first of all. And it's not cold. So you're going to have to get your mind around like, oh, it's raining, but I can still go outside and take the dog for a walk, assuming your dog likes water. And it won't impede your activities like it might if you were there.
Now, if you're driving on the freeway, you can get some storms where the rain is so bad, even your wipers on high, you're like, I think there's a car in front of me. So what ends up happening is people put their hazards on so you don't rear end them by accident.
Now, back to the neighborhoods that we were discussing. So there are neighborhoods that are, it's the trade-off, right? So the neighborhood without the HOA, if you aren't familiar with an HOA or don't want to move to one, you're probably not going to be going to an area that's got, you're going to might have to work a little harder to find your neighbors or to find your kids' age, right? Because it's just random. It's not a 55 plus and it's not a planned community. Yeah,
unless you're getting them into sports or dance or something like that.
Right. The other element to keep in mind is like there were over 90,000 people that moved to the state of South Carolina just in the last 15 months.
Yeah.
Somerville was already ahead of that pack in the sense of like another whatever large number from 24 to 25 people that moved to Somerville. Then the whole rest of the South Carolina caught up. So most people are from somewhere else.
Yep.
So when your kids' friends are like, oh, my friend's back home. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that because a lot of people are moving here. It's not just Boeing. It's all these other companies that are moving to South Carolina and specifically this area where they're not from here either. So, your neighbor's kids might be from Maryland and the other ones might be from Connecticut and you guys are from Washington, but all of them are, like Dan said, in the same dance class, they're in the same fourth grade class and, they're all friends. So the opportunities are there for fast friendships and years ahead that grow deep friendships. But most people with kids, their kids have friends in their state back where they are. So something to, maybe that'll help ease the transition for your kids. It can be a lot. It can be overwhelming. We did it with a 16-year-old. We pulled him between 9th and 10th grade. And we have a video about that on our channel where we did not see it on our, when we moved here, that this would be a possibility, but he accelerated and he ended up graduating a year early because all of his friends were, still back in California, the ones that he, wanted to be with and whatever. And he was like, why not? Like if the school let him do it, why not? So something to think about, also in that video, we address how to maybe bring the friends out to help your kid, get a shot in the arm of people that they've known their whole life.
Get your kids get the kids' friends from Washington to do a surprise trip out just so that it eases that that depression, honestly, that they're going to have from leaving everything that they know.
And there will be things that you will, probably need help with as far as like, okay, how does this work? Like we didn't have in and out, obviously, but like, we have to drive a little further to Costco. We have to drive a little further to Trader Joe's.
I got to pay property taxes on my car. What?
So things like that, we would absolutely love to hold your hand and kind of walk you through and let you know, like, you're not crazy, but it's 1000% doable and you will absolutely benefit. We're not here to blow smoke and say it's roses and rainbows 100% of the time, but a large percentage of the time, it's really, really good. You are coming to a great part of the state. The weather is lovely. We're here in the middle. It's April 21st. I have a sleeveless tank top on and Dan is in shorts and a short sleeve shirt. So I don't know what the weather's like in Washington, but it's in the 80s here today. So take that for what it is. But we wanted to provide you enough information so that, they weren't feeling like, okay, if I get one more neighborhood tour video, like, this is real talk.
And tell it, of course we know houses, but what we don't know is we don't know you. We don't know what your likes are, what your outside of work life you want it to look like. And those are the things that we can help you with is match the community or the house to how you want to live.
And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And we look forward to hearing from you. Again, our contact information is in the description below for your VIP call or just a straight up phone call. And this is Dan. I'm Angel. And if you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much. And we look forward to hearing from you and we will see you around town, hopefully soon.